Yeah. Sweet dreams.
Hello, monkeys! I am back and I hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year. So let's start this off with the Dante skirt. Now, just to warn you, this had a it's a little bit of a lengthy video because this is literally the evolution of Dante. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, first off, you're going to get some suede fabric. And I copied it off of a pair of pants to start with because this was originally a pair of pants just like his. So fold your pants in half and fold your fabric in half. Again, this is suede and it's brown. And copy the first half of your pants. So pretty simple, and make sure you copy the back. So in total, you're going to need 4 different panels. So once you cut that out, we can move on to the next clip. And make sure you give yourself at least 1 inch to 2 inches of seam allowance. Trust me, you're gonna want it. Then after that, this is just me copying that same piece, but it's easier if you just cut 4 pieces from the pants. Trust me, that I don't know why I did it this way. This was before I learned new methods. So if you want it to go easier, just copy the pants 4 times. So much easier. This is what you should end up with. So here I am, I'm pinning up the legs. I'm pinning up on the inside. You're going to pin up everywhere when it comes to the legs except for the crotch piece. Do not sew up the crotch piece or the bottom. You're just sewing these 2 separate pieces because it's easier to do it this way. I'll show you another clip where I have it all pinned. This is what it should look like once you have it all pinned. Remember, do not pin the crotch piece yet because we're just going to sew up the sides and the inside of the leg. So this is what you're going to end up with. Here I am pointing my finger to show you that you need to do it in that direction, which my finger moves so slowly. Just make sure you do the sides and the inside, and remember guys, this goes for you too. Then this is what it looks like sewn. At the time, I did not have a sewing machine, so this is hand sewn, so excuse the stitching. It's not 100% great, but it worked-ish, kinda. We'll get on to that story a tad bit later. But this is what you should end up with. Next, we're going to be working on the inside. Really? The inside where the crotch piece is, you're going to sew up the butt area first. See, this is where I show you. You sew up the butt area, just sew it together. And then we're going to flip the pants over, and we are going to sew in a zipper. It's that simple. Just fold the pieces together and sew the zipper in. Ta-da! And here I am zooming in, showing you where I have it pinned. Then I'll show you where I have it sewn in right after that, and this makes it a functional zipper. Make sure that you sew all the way up and all the way down. So, he has his zipper exposed, that's why we're showing a zipper, and it's a gold zipper. Make sure you get a gold zipper. So, this is a copy from his actual pants. That's why it's suede, and that's why it's brown. Next, we are going to hem the top. So roll it down and hem it, and you're going to hem the bottom of the legs too as well. So this is all just hemming, and I'm showing you where I pinned it because it's going to end up being sewn later. Didn't want to show you all the hand sewing because I didn't want you to sit here because this took me like 5 hours to hand sew, and I don't want to show you that. But in the next clip, you see I have a sewing machine. Yay, my parents got it for me because it was my birthday. So they bought me a sewing machine. Yeah, level up. What I did here, I noticed he had boning type pieces, kind of like a corset in a way, on his pants. So I folded the fabric near the zipper. I folded it in half and just did a top stitch right there, and that created the perfect little bone-in piece. It worked really well. I did it, he has it right next to his crotch on the sides, like it comes outward, and then it goes down, and then once you get to the knees, it goes all the way around the knees. I don't know why his pants are designed this way. That's just the way it was, so I was just copying the design. But I will end up showing you a clip how I did it. And make sure you do it to both sides. Here's what it roughly looks like. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. See, that's what it should look like, if I made any sense. And this is what it looked like after all of the bone-in type looking pieces are done. This is a quick, simple way to bone stuff, like to add the bone in. Yeah. See? And there's your Dante pants. Look at that, guys. So, I decided to change it into shorts. Look at that, because one, it was too hot. Two, my crotch ripped right before the convention, so I decided to change it into shorts. So, that's what that looks like there. And then I decided to go a different full factor, and I decided to add in lace, because since I'm a girl, I wanted to add a little more flair to it. It wasn't flary enough. So I added some lace right there in the middle on the hips. And here I am showing that it bobby pinned in. This is for the chicks, unless you guys want to wear some lace. I don't judge. That's up to you. So, up to you on what you want to do one night, what you want to do. I'm very hyper, so excuse me. I've been sick. I'm just so happy I'm not sick anymore, so please excuse me. I'm going to be rambling a little bit. And here it is sewn in on each side. And just to show that it's a little bit see-through, so I'm going to be showing my hand through it to show that it's a little bit see-through. See? Da-da-da! Hence the Spankies from earlier. Then I decided to change it into a skirt. Just totally kept changing it because I didn't like it. It was just meant to be a skirt in the long run because, to be honest, the crotch piece was not cooperating with me. Nothing was working right. So Dante was meant to have a skirt. Or at least the gender version, in my vision. So, hence why. But I kept the bone in there because I thought it still looked really cool. So I decided to add some Princess Ruffly laces at the bottom. That, and it needed more flair. It just wasn't enough. So I did about 2 inches of the lace. And here, I'm going to show you how to create ruffles. Get 2 inches right there, roll up your fabric as much as possible. And then literally just cut 2 inches each time. See? And my camera just keeps inching up and up. And then I just cut out as many ruffles as I can make to make it go all the way around the skirt. I did about 3 layers of ruffles, I believe, or was it 2? It was 2. It was 2. Yeah, that's right. So I cut out 8 strips of lace, and then put your sewing machine all the way, tension all the way, everything all the way up, as high as it can go. And put it on your top stitch, your straight stitch. And literally put it through the machine. This is how you can get away without using a ruffle foot. This is just a regular foot. And it's really simple. You just have to help gather it a little bit. This is great if you're working with ruffle type fabrics or want a ruffle look. Do your normal start stitch and back stitch to knot it. And then just help feed it through. And look at that. Look at those pretty, perfect ruffles. I did not know that I could do this. It just came to me one time, so I just gave it a shot. And then you just spread it out as far as you want. Make sure you cut out a lot of extra thread if you want it to spread out a little bit, unless you want it really, really ruffly. That preference is on you, but make sure you knot it at the end because I did not knot it at the end because I wanted to spread it out a little more. So make sure you knot it. That is very important. Otherwise, it's all going to just come apart. So be sure to do that one. And then once you're done with that, clip it off. And then next we are going to spread it out a tad bit more, kind of feather it out. That way it lays out nice and pretty. Because I wanted it semi-straight, but to where it shows out a really good ruffle. So pretty. Next, get your skirt or your fabric or whatever you decide to use for this. And then literally just pin it to it. I pinned it right at the bottom on the inside, and then I went back and just sewed it. I sewed a top, no, not a top. I did a straight stitch. That's what that's called. I'm still learning the stitches, so bear with me a little bit. But just sew a straight stitch on top of it, and that will hold all of your ruffles together. And I just kept doing layer after layer after layer. And it worked out really well. I was so happy with it. It was so pretty in the end. See? There it is, all pinned in. And like I said, I ended up doing about 2 layers instead of 1 because 1 wasn't enough. I had to have more. Always have to have more. And that's what it looks like without the garter strap. So nice and pretty. This was when I thought it was done. It wasn't done yet. Of course I wanted to add more. It's me. I want to always add more. Make sure you put in elastic at the top. So just stretch it as you put in elastic. Little tip for you because you want elastic at the top. Now here comes where my husband does the camera work. So excuse it a little bit because he's not an expert in this part. I get the dye poly. And I just used a leftover baby headband strap that my girls tore up a long time ago, so it was blue, so I dyed it black. But you could just find yourself a black strap or however. But it's pure elastic, so that's why I did the dye poly. See, it was blue. It was a baby blue. So get you something, a pot that you will not use to cook in, and a stick you will not use to cook in, and make sure you open a door. This stuff is very potent. It stinks up your house. It does not smell good. It is not very fun. You throw you open it up, throw the black packet in, and then be careful. Make sure you're wearing gloves with this. This is crucial. This stuff is toxic. Very toxic. Then you cut that packet open and dump it in as well. This is where the stuff starts to really stink. It's this stuff right here, but it makes it very vibrant and very dark, which is what you want. Trust me. Then throw that away, and then you stir it. Follow the instructions. I turn on the vent. That's what that was. Follow the instructions. Throw it in there, and then stir it. And you have to keep it in there for an hour and stir every 15 minutes. So that's basically it. And you have to keep it over the oven because it has to cook. Because polyester does not dye unless it's cooked, because it's a weird fabric. It has to be weird about it. So I came back every 15 minutes and checked on it, and here I am just showing you that exact instruction. It's kind of, well, my husband's trying to get it in there, but my camera decided not to focus because it's a dingus. My technology decides to be a dingus. Go figure. But we'll just move on to the next clip. Like I said, just follow the instructions. You'll be fine. It's not that difficult. I thought it was difficult at first, but it's really not. But it is an hour. And make sure you stir frequently. Just come back every 15 minutes. Stir it a good bit. Lift it out of the pot to check on it. Make sure it's the color that you want, because I know some people want darker. Some people want lighter. I wanted it to be like black as night. As black as I can get it. Because I needed it to be black to match the rest of it. So it worked really well. Just be very cautious. And be careful. Wear gloves. Again. And this stuff stinks. Very hot. Very potent. Wear a mask if you have a mask. Best to do this outside if you can. I did not have that choice. And this is the color it turned into after you wash it. Make sure you wash it. So, very important. Wash it. And then fold it in half and cut it. And there you go. You know how to make a garter strap. Well, for the most part. That's basically what they're made out of. It's basically elastic bands. But this was the best option for me because I wanted something that stayed on the skirt, and I only wanted it to hold up one stocking because that was just the style I was going for, because I was going for a Dante that's been through a lot of battle, doesn't exactly have a matching outfit, so this was the way I went with it. You can do however you want to, but this is how I did it. And then I sewed a little gold button on here. A little tip for the gold button. If you cannot find gold buttons, like I couldn't find gold buttons, you can easily spray paint these buttons. Get gold spray paint it, and then Mod Podge it over and over and over again. And they'll still stay golden. So, little tip there. Just sew it onto the strap and make a little hole. Make sure that you hem everywhere, any holes that you make, so it doesn't make it bigger. And that way you could just literally put the button in the hole. Now get your handy dandy skirt and add it to the one side that you want to add it to. And I just literally followed the boning that I added in earlier because it's a lot easier that way, in my personal opinion. But that's what I did. Sorry, my computer's screaming at me that it wants charged. And all I did was pin it right above the ruffles that I added to the skirt. And I just pinned it right above it. I'll show another clip where I have it pinned in the front and the back. And you can do that to both sides or just one side, whichever way you want to do it, or you could just not add it at all. This is just what I did. Like I said, totally what you want to do. And here it is pinned, and I just sew it right there. And that's literally it. Use a zigzag stitch. So be sure to use that with black thread, and there you go. That's how you make the skirt and the garter. And it works, even when sitting down. It stretches very well. This is it. I'll see y'all next time. Happy cosplaying! Jackpot.